Hi, it's Dan here from Honest Betting Reviews. Just wanted to do an update on Electroneum. You may have heard the news. They are closing the token sale early, which is a bit of a shock to me. It's probably a shock to you and everyone else who's been following this, but they have announced that just now. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the email and what I think the decision means and plans for Electroneum going forward. So let's have a look at the email first. This has just come in from Richard Ells just 1 hour ago, just over 1 hour ago now actually. It's now 5:37 on the 19th of October. So here's what Richard says. Richard is the CEO of Electroneum. Hi everyone, we've nearly reached the 40 million US dollars that we aim to reach. We have raised $38 million as of 4 o'clock BST. We have had over 250,000 users join the Electroneum token sale. It must be one of the largest token sales by user number in history, if not the biggest. Bancor raised 140 million plus on just 10,000 contributors. Tezos raised $240 million on 22,000 contributors. We have more than 110,000 contributors who've made over 160,000 transactions from over 250,000 users who have registered on the token sale manager. Okay, so he's just gone through there really how well the token sale has done in terms of the numbers. Quite amazing how many people have registered and contributed to this, which is a very good sign. So then Richard goes on to say, the Electroneum team have reconfirmed that there's going to be a hard cap at 40 million US dollars. Therefore, the token sale will almost certainly be closing early as soon as the value of the Bitcoin and Ethereum raised by the sale of Electroneum exceeds 40 million US dollars. So basically, I would expect that's going to be tonight. Certainly after this announcement, I'd be surprised if it goes much into tomorrow. They're already close to it. I mean, 38 million there, another 2 million. With this announcement, I think it's going to go quickly. So then Richard goes on to say the rationale behind the decision is as follows. 1. To prevent early access to Electroneum purchases. Electroneum has built up an incredible momentum in the market. Clearly, it's important this continues past the token sale and into the exchanges upon listing. The management team believe this will pivot into further excitement for the app and for mass user adoption of Electroneum. 2. The exchanges are likely to list Electroneum quickly due to pent-up demand, which will equate to transactions and new users for the exchanges that list Electroneum. 3. It gives a clear signal to the market that the team are focused on the long-term goals and success of Electroneum and not the proceeds of the token sale. As soon as the $40 million US goal is reached, we will close the ability to make purchases via Electroneum token sale manager and make an announcement on Telegram, Facebook, Twitter, and the Electroneum websites. We will, of course, follow up with interviews and press releases to the financial and disruptive press. We'd like to thank everyone. Phase 2 is going to launch in November 1st. You want to make some purchases. Okay, and then he says, remember that once we get Electroneum listed on exchanges, you will be able to make purchases there. Electroneum Limited will never sell Electroneum coins again once we reach our hard cap goal. The entire market will consist of trading with existing Electroneum owners. And he just talks about the Telegram app, and the warning there that if you purchase Electroneum, you could lose money, which I think is a good thing that he says that. But yes, what do we make of this email? Well, at first, as I say, I was surprised at first. I didn't expect this. I thought they could have carried on and raised 50, 60, maybe even $70 million with the momentum that they had behind it and the number of users that were signing up every day. But having thought about it, I can see this could actually be quite a clever move, because what it should do is ensure that all the people who have been wanting to sign up and all the excitement that's been generated by this will be able to carry over to the actual launch of Electroneum and importantly, it's launched from the exchanges. So there's probably people now who think, oh, I've just heard about this thing. I've heard there's lots of people interested and lots of excitement. I want to get some Electroneum, but they can't because the token sale is just about to close. So what those people might then do is go onto an exchange once Electroneum's listed there and buy some on the exchange, which would force up the price. Which is what is going to be so key, I think, to Electroneum doing well, is that it's the prices it's seen as going up, and that's going to help drive the numbers to the app, so that people then mine Electroneum and the app could go viral. I'm not quite sure what he means here. Number one, to prevent early access to Electroneum purchases. Don't know whether he means if it's about to go on the exchanges, whether people would then go on exchange to purchase it rather than buy it through a token sale, which obviously they won't be able to do now. Well, certainly not once the 40 million is reached, anyway. So the rest of it is I think is fairly self-explanatory. It's built up incredible momentum. They want to carry this on, pivot into further excitement for the app, mass user adoption. Yes, and this is what he's stressing the point here. The exchanges are likely to list Electroneum quickly due to pent-up demand. And as I say, if there's people who wanted to buy it through the token sale, well, now they'll have to go onto the exchanges once this token sale closes, which, as I say, I expect to be later tonight. Could be early tomorrow, but I think it'll be later tonight. And I think this is an interesting point. It gives a clear signal to the market that the team are focused on the long-term goals and success of Electroneum and not the proceeds of the token sale. So yeah, I mean, some people, obviously there's been skepticism around ICOs in general. Some of them have been accused of fraud, that these are just scams to raise money, and that the people behind them cream off a large portion of the investors' money for themselves. And that's because these ICOs aren't regulated at all, unlike an IPO on the stock market that is heavily regulated. So and people have wondered what was going to happen with Electroneum. But I think this gives a pretty strong signal, as Richard says in this email, that they're serious about this. They could have carried it on and just made more money, but they're looking at the long-term future. They want to see this translated into the pent-up demand going into the launch of the app and the launch of Electroneum on the exchanges. As I understand it, Electroneum is going to list on just one exchange to start with. So it'll be interesting to see how many more they get onto. I think that's going to be Cryptopia exchange to start with, which is not one I'd heard of before, but it's probably one of the smaller ones. But I think with the number of users they've got and so on, I very much expect them to list on the bigger ones soon. So there we have it, really. I hope you've managed to get your Electroneum. I've got 211,000 of them. I think this is going to do well. If you're going to invest, please do your own research, as this email says at the bottom. Remember, this is a risky venture. You could lose your money. You could lose everything. I could lose all those coins if there's some sort of disaster with this. So, as I say, do your own research. Be careful. But if you want to get into this token sale, you've probably only got a few hours to do so.